When Alex Hormozi and Jensen Huang say that AI is not going to replace people, but people using AI is going to replace people, they aren't just being nice. They are giving us a warning. A recent survey just found that around the world, 55% of people are actually positive or excited about AI's implications and how it can help our societies, whereas the United States is only about 39%. We seem to be a lot more afraid about AI taking our jobs, especially if we're trying to start businesses, create content, or build wealth, right? But AI isn't going to take your job. It's the people who learn how to use AI and build teams. And so today I'm going to show you a very basic workflow of how you can start building your own AI teams for pretty much next to pennies. That way you can shift your AI from being just like glorified Google search to actually being a productive team member that helps you accomplish whatever task you're working on. So let's dive right in. Look, I know the feeling. You go onto your AI tool and you try to ask it to write something for you, maybe write a post or an email, and it just gives you this junk, something that just is not helpful. You then end up spending 20 minutes just trying to fix it and realize it would have been probably faster if you just did it yourself in the first place. We start scrolling and we start looking at these gurus who are like making $1 million in 5 minutes using AI, or they click this button and you're gonna get amazing Instagram carousel, don't even have to do any work, right? And it just feels like we're behind. I remember scrolling and I literally felt sick to my stomach because I just felt like I was missing out and everyone else had it figured out. And what I thought I needed was more templates and prompts and maybe even to learn how to code. But then I had started to look under the hood of AI and I realized it's way simpler than we make it out to be. AI really is a team member. And when we stop talking about AI agents and we start talking about AI teams, everything changes. I'll give you an example. I can go into Claude and I can just start giving it a prompt like, hey, make me an Instagram carousel kinds of cheese. And what it's going to do is it's going to go and it's going to try to make an Instagram carousel about cheese. And most of us interact with AI this way. But now I want you to imagine, what if you told that to a newly hired employee, someone who didn't know anything about your brand, didn't know anything about your process, didn't know anything about you, and you just said, hey, I want you to write me an email sequence that's going to convince people to buy my product. If I told that to a person, no matter how much time I gave them, they're going to stumble, they're going to fumble, they're not going to be able to do the thing that I want them to do. And that's what most of us get wrong with AI. Like here, it started to make this carousel and, it's not bad. There's, it talks about different kinds of cheeses, talks about aged Gouda, I don't even know how to say that, but this isn't the text that I like to use. It's not formatted the way I like to use it. It's not even the right colors that I would use. And it's not AI's fault, it's my fault. Instead of prompting AI, we need to start onboarding it. And the way that we do that is we create a process, a step-by-step recipe. This is how I make a carousel. This is how I write a script. This is how I write a sales letter. This is how I edit my videos. And as we write those out, then we give the instructions to AI. It becomes a team member. It becomes someone who has the background, the knowledge, the working memory of the way we like to do things. A super simple way to be able to start this onboarding kind of workflow or mentality is when you go into Claude, there's on the left side here, there's something called projects. Now, projects are amazing because every time you start a new chat, right? If I go here and I click new chat, it's gonna forget. Right? If I'm like, hey. So like I go in here and I say, hey, do you remember that Instagram carousel we made? I have no memory. I don't know what you're talking about. But we're like, you just made it. What are you talking about? I go into the chats and it's right there. What's going on? Why can't it pull it up, right? And that's the thing. When you go into projects, you're essentially saying, I'm going to talk to you about this one thing. I want you to always remember the things in this project. So I create a new project. I want to make a team member that is going to be in charge of script writing. You can put something there if you want to. Now what happens is every time I start a new chat, it's going to tag it under the script writing project. So all that memory, every time I want to go back and edit or talk to it, it's going to kind of consolidate or remember these things. To amplify this further, to make it more foolproof, right, is you can actually add files. And this file can be exactly this step-by-step recipe of every time you do something, I want you to read this file, right? It's going to be my method for script writing. I want to use these kind of hooks. I want to use this kind of storytelling. Like every single time, you now have a file that Claude can reference to understand what you're talking about, where you're coming from. See, this difference here is now we are onboarding AI to become a team member. And as we build more projects and we develop these files that tell and teach AI how we want to do things, we are going to build a team. You can copy that file, you can give it to Claude, you can give it to Gemini, you can give it to whatever is the new AI on the street. But you started to document, this is exactly how I like to do things. And I'll be honest, training AI takes a little bit of a time investment. It takes some guidance, it takes some tweaking. But when you put in the effort to make your AI a team member, rather than just thinking of it like this magical agent that just does things, you're going to get an amazing result. You're going to learn how to train AI just like you would an employee. The new economy is essentially becoming really good managers. And as we use AI as our employees, that's what's going to stick in the job markets. So if you want to step away from just prompting AI and actually start onboarding it to be like a team member, then there's a link in the description of this video. It's for a workshop that's 100% there to help you build your first AI team. This is for content creation specifically, but you can use these skills for marketing. You can use it for sales, literally anything that you need to do in your business and your work. And by the end of it, you're going to feel way more comfortable on actually how to use AI, not only for fun projects, but also for your work. So go down, click the link below, and remember, you're in the right place.